Hi Rachel, this is Jenny. This Thursday, I went to attend a class in the university, and the name of the class is Calculus for Business and Social Science. The reason why I choose this class is because my future major is business, and I think if I can get familiar with business classes environments and those teachers' teaching style will be good for my future study. Firstly, I want to introduce about the size of the class. The class I had attended had almost 40 students, and one of those students is my friend. They told me that this class was a big class in the university, and this class was supposed to have more than 50 students. But because the professor didn't check the attendance, so some students would miss the class. And next, I want to introduce about the professor. The professor's name is Allegory Sieber, and I think she was very good at talking because she was the only person who talked from the beginning to the end. And during the whole class, she only gave us 2 questions and picked up several students to answer those questions. There was no communication, which means there was no communication and the class discussion between students and teacher. And I think there are several reasons why there was no class discussion and communication in Calculus for Business and Social Science. The first reason is the class only lasted for 15 minutes, and that was too short to have a class discussion. And the second reason is the distance between students and teacher was so long because the teacher always stood in the very front of the classroom, and because the classroom was very large, so the distance between students and teacher was really long, and it was too long to have any eye contact or communications. And that I think that situation is totally different from the situation in ELC. In English Language Center, teachers always have lots of topics to let students talk about, and students have to share their personal opinions with their teachers. And teachers always stand in the middle of the classrooms and let students stand around them to have a better eye contact. So the teachers can have much eye contact with their students to make sure their students can understand what they're talking about. And also I think why the English Language Center, the classes in English Language Center have more communication, but the business classes in the university do not have. It's because the content of the classes are different. In English Language Center, teachers' purpose is to let students to more and more practice their English. So teachers have to make their students keep talking. So that is why we have so much communications. And the study condition of business class in the American university is also different from the business classes in the Chinese university. Once I went to a business class in a Chinese university, and that was such a big class. There were nearly 200 students sit inside the classroom, and I have to say students were very active because students were always try to answer the students always put up their hands and try to answer every question, of their to answer every question. But I think that behaviors were only for the students who sit in the front of the classroom. Because in the back of the classroom, the rest of the students couldn't even see what the teacher looked like. So I think the classes in American university is more formal than the classes the classes in Chinese universities. And also, I want to say something about the professor Allegory Sieber. Allegory Sieber was a very efficient teacher because in 15 minutes she finished almost 15 PowerPoints, and the students who sat downstairs were actually paying a lot of attention because they all brought their laptop, and their laptop had the same PowerPoint which their teacher also had on the blackboard. So when the teacher changed the PowerPoint, their students would follow their teacher's step. And at the end of the class, Professor Allegory Sieber gave us homework and finished the class really on time. And that is about my class observation. Thank you so much.